deeply. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yay! So,
Equality and Inclusion Officer. The Equality and Inclusion Officer advocates for marginalised and underrepresented communities at the university. They will address systemic barriers and create an inclusive environment for the university.
Hello, I'm Corey Anderson. Joining me across the table is Freddie Newell, candidate for Equality and Inclusion Officer. So, Freddie, you mentioned in your manifesto, you call attention in your manifesto to your previous experience as LGBTQ plus students officer, and also you bring up pronouns on student ID cards, which was a promise you ran on last year, being introduced by the university. Despite that statement, I've personally yet to be given the option to place pronouns on my own student ID, and haven't seen student IDs with pronouns printed on, and haven't actually seen any other sources mention this as a process. Could you perhaps give some more light on your progress towards that and the general process for that?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, first of all.
No problem.
So in this situation, so we have worked closely with the EDI office, so people like Johnny Lovell. This is sort of like a very not secretive process. Like, it's been in the motions. Like,
Yeah.
I first have been told that this was going to be put into process about a year ago now, and they were looking to introduce it for this coming September, but due to perhaps staff illnesses, that may not be a possibility. But it is essentially a work in progress, and it is actually going to be done and implemented despite perhaps our student body not seeing any progress, but behind the scenes there is a lot of work still being done.
Thank you very much. Also in your manifesto, you also state a desire to establish an international student steering group to advocate about problems faced by the international student community. I was wondering, what do you feel makes you the best candidate to advocate for international students and their issues?
I think in terms of being a candidate, it's not, especially for a sabbatical officer run, it's not about whether you personally sometimes identify as a specific category, it's whether you have the ability and capacity to essentially advocate for those students' needs. Like, over the past year, I've also advocated for issues on accessibility to do with our LGBTQ plus students, especially at York Pride. I think it's important that not only people who identify as that, but also people who are outside that circle and don't have a personal experience want to fight that fight. And the best thing about York is the fact that we have an ability to join together as communities to fight for the good fight and raise issues to the university that are very important to our students.
Thank you very much. You also state that you plan to lobby the university to establish bookable sensory rooms that neurodiverse students can book out. Could you just expand on this and explain how this might be different to the current state, like the current systems that are in place for booking rooms that any students could book?
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, the booking system, it's a very difficult thing to go through. I think my approach would perhaps be, obviously, when you register as a student, you may tell the university that you are a disabled student, you have like physical or mental health needs that maybe you may need support with. So perhaps the university could work closely with the booking system and also the Department for Technology, Estates and Facilities to essentially make sure that these rooms are essentially only being booked by students who actually are meeting those capacity needs, essentially, rather than just students that perhaps may not need it, but may just need a space.
So you say, like, following on from that, obviously one issue we do have with bookings at the moment is there's not a lot of space on campus. There's not a lot. People struggle to book rooms already. Do you think taking some rooms and making them only for some students would exacerbate this issue more? Is that where the university should be focusing what little space they do have?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the university has had certain failings in terms of kind of expanding its space to university students. I mean, for example, look at the library. And at current, we only have 2 sensory safe spaces for our students, one perhaps on each campus. And that is very difficult because we cater to a vast variety of student needs. And therefore, of course, it may exacerbate the issue, but it's so important that we increase the diversity and of our rooms to meet the needs of our diverse student body, and that is so important.
Okay, thank you very much. Just if you stated in your manifesto, just very quickly with the time we have left, accountability is one of the main parts you put on your manifesto, but who are you holding accountable?
100%. University Executive Board, Department of Technology, Estates and Facilities, and other individuals that have given misgivings for our students.
Thank you very much. And now we pass to Studio Red for another Equality and Inclusion Officer interview. Thank you very much. We should be out.
Equality